Bobble's not happy today. Bobble had a tough weekend. But what a weekend it was. Army, Air Force, Service Academy rivals, big points on the line. And we don't disappoint. We fight and we battle for 130 minutes to back-to-back ties. I was so juiced, I couldn't wait to get home to celebrate with Carol. I went home, I had a near beer. She had some sugar-free ice cream. The next morning we woke up, we had a pot of decaf coffee. There's not a better way to start your morning, give you a little jump start than decaf coffee. Those games were unbelievable, unbelievable. 2-2, both of them. Going to overtime, we got people on the edge of their seats. 2-2, both nights. And thank God we stopped that insanity before somebody had a heart attack. I'm telling you, thank God. And then, okay, fans, 2-2, it's all over. It's time to leave. You got them on the edge of the seats. Some of them you got standing up. And on your way out, make sure you stop by the ticket office and renew your season tickets. And, buy playoff tickets too so the league office can keep the lights on. We got to do something. Our motto here, fly, fight, win, right? It ain't fly, fight, lose, and it sure as heck ain't fly, fight, tie. Those boys came in, both teams put on an entertaining show, didn't disappoint anybody. And, some of my colleagues, they don't want to extend the overtime because they might lose. I guess nobody told them, you want to be a big-time college coach? There's a chance on every given night that you might lose. But there's another thing. There's another chance. You might win. And that's what people come to see. They want to come. They want to see a result. I go home and I watch hockey and several college games over the weekend. Every weekend there's several college games now. And these are the glamour teams that get on TV, that are able to get on TV. And I'm seeing half-empty buildings and less. Half-empty buildings and less. We've played some games out east where every fan had their own section. Now, fixing overtime isn't going to fix all of this, but it's a piece of the puzzle. We got to create ways. We got to start creating ways and reasons for people to come to the rink, not for people not to come to the rink. Those were two great hockey games, and they were so exciting to me. In a perfect world, on Friday night we get off to a 2-0 lead. We're not playing very good. Army is playing well, and they're not scoring because Billy the Greek is on fire. And we're up 2-0 going to third. We shouldn't be up 2-0. We're not playing well. Army's playing well. Well, just, the way the game is, the game rewards those who deserve to be rewarded most often. Army fights back, ties that game, and in a perfect world, they probably deserve to go into overtime and win that game. On Saturday, we're playing a good game. We give up 2 power plays. Army scores on both of them, but we play much better. And we battle. We come from behind. We come from behind twice. And in the third period, we carried the third period. We go into overtime. We're playing well. We've kind of got momentum. And in a perfect world, we would have won that game. And, who knows what the fates would have allowed. That's the beauty of it. And that's what fans want to see. You just don't know. The beauty of the unknown. But for one thing's for sure, people come and they want to see a result. And ideally, I would have rather had a win and a loss. Same amount of points, rather have a win and a loss than 2 ties. And there's a lot of reasons for it. For the fans, there's nothing more exciting than overtime, and there's nothing more exciting than an overtime goal. And for us not to reward the people that come, over 5,000 fans. We had over 5,000 fans at our games, and we need to do everything we can to entertain those people. Some people in college hockey will say, Frank, we're not in the entertainment business. Well, you know what? We're doing a If we're not in the entertainment business, we're doing a pretty good job of making sure we're not in the entertainment business. We need to take a step forward. If we're not in the entertainment business, why do we pay coaches? Why do we charge admission? Why do we all have marketing departments? It matters. The players want to play in front of more fans. You know what? You want to play in front of more fans? Give them more reasons to come out. Coaches, they all get paid a pretty fair wage, and everybody'd like to get paid more. Well, let's create some reasons. Well, maybe you can get paid more. You ain't going to get paid more by having less people come to your games. We need to keep our game relevant, and we need to elevate it. And this insanity has got to stop. It's just got to stop. There's nothing more exciting than overtime. There's nothing more exciting than an overtime goal. We're the only level of hockey that doesn't do it, and we need to figure this out. We need to figure it out in a quick hurry.
Have the fine folks at Atlantic Hockey heard from you since this weekend?
Has who?
Has the conference? Have you shared your?
No, this is me and Bobblehead. Bobblehead's a season ticket, and Bobble's not happy. That's why he's not going. He's a Filipovich fan now. He's even left me. He's left my stable and he's over in basketball. And he'll be back though. He'll be back. He's loyal. But he won't give up on Coach P either. But this isn't a beef between me, and this is my opinion. And obviously there's others that have different opinions. Obviously it's very contentious within the ranks of the college coaches. Half the leagues are doing it now, half the leagues aren't. And to be honest with you, I talk to guys and guys that have been against it in the past, and they're warming up to it. I mean, you have to. This isn't the 60s and 70s. This is the new millennium. And every night you go home. I go home every night. I turn on the NHL games, and I get the end of the East, or the games that are starting in the East. When I get home, they're in the third period, and I'm clicking through, and I'm looking for the games. I'm not going to watch the ones that are 5-1. I'm looking for the ones that are 1-goal games or ties, and the ones that are, I'm hoping they stay tied, because I want to see them go into 3-on-3, because I think it's exciting and it's fun to watch, and obviously the fans think that too, and the NHL and all the other leagues other than college hockey feel the same way, or they wouldn't do it. The NHL isn't doing anything that's bad for business, let me just tell you. And it's a new part of the fabric of the game, and we need to adapt, and we need to adjust our thinking, and we need to get on board.
From a purely hockey perspective, sounds like Saturday you were much more pleased with the effort than Friday night. Is that a fair assessment? Oh yeah, I talked to Brian about it as well, and we were sloppy. We looked like we had never been coached. And I take this. I'm the captain of the ship, and when we look like we're badly coached, I take that personal. I don't throw that and blame that on the boys. We're all a part of it. We all have to take ownership in it. And Friday, we were terrible. The better coached team by a country mile was Army, and Coach Riley and his coaches, they do a fantastic job. They came in here with two of their best players out with injuries. We still have a couple guys, but for the most part, we had guys coming back, and they went out and played a terrific team game. We went out and to be honest with you, as I've said all the time, to win, you first have to learn how not to beat yourself. And we did our best on Friday to try and beat ourselves, and Billy the Greek wouldn't let it happen. We reeled it in and had a good meeting on Saturday morning. We went out on Saturday night, and we were a little bit paralysis by analysis, because we wanted our guys to get back to basics, playing on the right side of guys and doing all the things that it takes to ensure that give yourself the best chance to win. And we came out of the chute a little slow. They got a power play, and they scored. We came from behind and tied it in the second. We gave up another power play goal. We chased the scoreboard the entire game on Saturday, and sometimes that mirrors. You think because of how intense it is, and when those games, when they're low scoring like that, it masks how you're playing. And we were actually playing so much better on Saturday, but it's masked. And then finally we battle, and Matt Cook ties the game, and the house is on fire, and. But there's no question about it. We played pretty well. Army played well the entire weekend. I got it. My hats off to them. They more than earned their 2 points, and maybe even deserved to even get more than just the 2 points. For us, we probably, like I said, deserved to lose on Friday.
but we played more than well enough to win on Saturday, and we need to get that consistency in our game. Winning one and losing one isn't going to cut it. That's happening in a lot in our league. And the team or the two teams or the three teams that decide to go on a run and start winning 3 or 4, and it's going to be hard to make up ground on teams, because on every given weekend, you look from 1 to 11, 11 can beat 1, and it's not even an upset. It's maybe a minor upset at the most. And somebody's going to have to get on a run. The teams that can find a way to maybe win, 2 out of 3 or get 5 of 8 points in a 4-game span, they could very well be the team that hoists the regular season trophy.
Chris, her team's playing a noon game on a Wednesday. Dave's playing at 9 o'clock at night. You have some interesting scheduling this weekend too. You play Saturday, Sunday. You're changing rinks. Any challenges that this weekend at Sacred Heart presents?
It is what it is. Like, we're going on the road, and our guys are going to get, we're going to be in a hotel. They're going to be rested. We're going to adjust their schedules. And is it weird to play in the afternoon? Was it weird to play at AIC at 1 o'clock on a Friday afternoon? Yeah, it's weird, but they're playing at that time too, and they're making those adjustments. And it is what it is. And ultimately, if you make it to the NCAA tournament, ESPN dictates the schedule, and there's going to be games at noon and 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and there's going to be games that are played at 7, 8, and sometimes even 9 at night. So it is what it is. To be honest with you, you can't worry about it and complain about it. If you do, all you're doing is creating distractions for yourself and for your team. The schedule is what it is. We're playing where we're playing. We're going to practice in Milford. We're going to play the first game at Webster Bank, and we're going to play the second game at Yale. We're going to be in 3 different venues. Okay, so what? Go. Get on your itinerary and do what you got to do and find a way to win.
Coach, going back to the overtime thing, how would you like to see the format? Would it maybe be a double overtime if it's still tied, a shootout, or maybe overtime be a 3-on-3? What ideally would you like to see?
Well, ideally, I think the NCHC and the WCHA and the Big Ten, they've got a pretty good formula right now. 3 of the leagues do it, 3 of the leagues don't, and I personally do not mind at all what they do. They play the 65 minutes, and by the way, I'm all for ending these games in some way, shape, or form. I'm not a big part of having 3-on-3 being a part of the RPI. The RPI decides the NCAA tournament, and 3-on-3 and shootouts are not going to be allowed in the NCAA tournament. So I think I'm a big proponent that you just play for a league point, maybe a 3-point system, and play for a league point with that overtime, and if it is to get to a shootout. I like the 65-minute game that we play for, and we use that criteria. It's 5-on-5 criteria. We use 5-on-5 criteria to decide the participants for the NCAA tournament, which is a 5-on-5 tournament. In the regular season, I do like what the other 3 leagues are doing. They play the 65-minute 5-on-5 games. They play a 5-on-5 or a 5-minute 3-on-3, and then if it's not decided, they go to a sudden death shootout. And I'm all for the sudden death shootout because very few games get that far. Most of them are end in the 3-on-3, and the ones that go to a shootout. I mean, you've already been here, had these fans. We've been here a long time. I think you get in, and a sudden death shootout I think is great. The only other way to do it would be to just to end 5-on-5. If you don't like what it does to the ice, the 5 minute of 5-on-5 and then the 5 minute 3-on-3, you could end. For our RPI purposes, you could end the game after 60 minutes and go to 3-on-3 right away, like the NHL does, and then a sudden death shootout. So. I would be a proponent of either one of those. If somebody, and I'm open-minded, if somebody has something better, hey, if they got something better, I'd be the first one to jump on the bandwagon. I just think we gotta, and I do think it's going in that direction. I think the guys are seeing it, and like I said, the 3-on-3 right now. and some guys just they're not against the 3-on-3. They're against the shootout. Some guys just don't like shootouts. So they sacrifice the 3-on-3 because they don't like a shootout, which is short-sighted to me, because I think the data will show you. The NCHC, and they've been doing this for a long time now, and very, very few of the games get to the shootout, because it generally, if it's not ended in the 5-on-5 overtime, it ends in the 3-on-3 in that Wild West, wild and woolly 3-on-3 overtime.
Coach, you talk a lot about Billy and his play and keeping you in games and winning games for you. Do you worry at all about him maybe wearing down mentally?
Billy's pretty stable, pretty strong-minded. I don't. Billy, right, to this point, for a season and a half, he's been our best player. He let a bad goal in the other day. He just to show us he's human. When that puck went in, it's like, whoa, what happened? To go through the side of the net, Billy doesn't let those in. And so he's human as well as the second goal on Saturday night against Army. But he made several saves that could have just as easily went in the net. Am I worried about him getting tired, mentally tired? No, Billy's got the green light. He and I have got a good relationship, and I give him the opportunity just about every week. If he wants to take a day off, I give him the opportunity, and he's never taken it. Yeah, he always wants to go out and get some shots. He loves being on the ice. He loves tending goal, and he's real good at it. He's got, Billy's. He operates right in here. He's not here, and he's not here. He operates right in there, and that's a good place to operate for a goalie.
When you go to Yale, will you be receiving any honorary degree or anything like that?
From Yale?
Yeah.
That is very unlikely. Okay. Very unlikely I'm going to get anything at Yale. I'll probably get a parking ticket, or something like that before I get anything else, yeah.